So first we see what are the problems or what are the types of concept that we study in clocks. So we first start with understanding the speed of the hands, the hour hand and the minute hand. Second hand will not cover it here. Then we see the problems on hands meet, when will the two hands of the clock will coincide, such kind of problem. Then we see the problems where the angle between the two hands of the clock is 90 degree, 180 degree. So what is the time during that time, how many times it happens in 1 hour, and such kind of concepts related to angles. Then we see the problems where we find out the angle between the hands of the clock. So I'll give you any time and I'll ask you what is the angle between the hands of the clock at that time. So what is a method to do that? Problems on faulty clock, gaining clock, losing clock. Then normal clock with faulty clock working together, when will they show the same time again? Okay, so such kind of problem we'll deal with here. So let's start with first kind of problem where we study the speed of the hands. Okay, I need to find out the speed of two hands. So my convention here is the red hand that I am drawing it here. Okay, is a minute hand, and the blue hand is an hour hand. Okay, blue hand is an hour hand, something like this. So that's what it is. So if I have to make 3 o'clock in the watch, what will I do? I'll put the minute hand here at 12 and I'll put the hour hand here at 3. So I know it is 3 o'clock in the watch. Now I am asking you, this is your minute hand, right? This minute hand, the red one, will come back to this position at 12 after how many minutes? Which means it will go something like this, right? It will go something like this and it will come back to this 12 after how many minutes? After how many minutes? So you will say 60 minutes. That's quite simple. In 60 minutes, it will come back to its position. Now, next question that I ask you here is, in this 60 minutes, what is the angle that is being traveled by this hand? What is this angle that I am talking about? This entire angle. What is this angle that is being traveled by this hand of the clock in 60 minutes? That is nothing but 360 degree. We can easily see it here. So what did I learn from this? This hand of the clock traveled 360 degree in how many minutes? In 60 minutes. So what is the speed? How much is it traveling? How much degree is it traveling per minute? So my answer comes out to be 6 degrees per minute. Okay, and that is now the speed of my minute hand. It travels 6 degrees in 1 minute. That's what I get from here. Okay, now similarly, as we found it out, it goes 360 degree in 60 minutes. Can you tell me about hour hand as well? This is an hour hand here, say at 12 now. Okay, this hour hand will come back to this position 12 after how many hours? After how many hours will it come back to this position 12? After 12 hours. Quite simple. It will take 12 hours to move the angle of 360 degree, right? So it also moved an angle of 360 degree. Okay, but in how many hours? 12 hours. So if you go 360 degree in 12 hours, how many are you moving per hour? 30 degree per hour. 30 degree per hour. Okay, now that is the speed of your hour hand. Okay, that is the speed of your hour hand. That is 30 degree per minute. And you already know the speed of your minute hand is nothing but 6 degrees per minute. Okay, now you can see it here. It is in terms of per minute. This is in terms of per hour. So we'll have to convert this per hour to per minute. Now even before we do that, we understand something from this. The hour hand goes 30 degree per hour, which means in 1 hour, if I go from 12 to 1 like this hour hand will move how much of degree? What is this degree? How much of degree? 30 degree. Okay, this makes me understand that in 1 hour there is 30 degree. So if I take 2 hours, 12 to 2, it will be 60 degree. If I take 3 hours, 12 to 3, if it is 3 o'clock in the watch, the angle between the two hands of the clock will be what? 90 degree. And that's what you have to understand it here as well. Okay, something that will be required in the next problem as we solve this. So between 2 hours there is a 30 degree. So now I know speed of the minute hand is 6 degree per minute. Speed of the hour hand is 30 degree per hour. So it goes 30 degree in 60 minutes, right? That is what is being said here. It goes 30 degree in 60 minutes. So how much degree it goes in 1 minute, which is quite clear, half degree per minute, half degree per minute. And that is the speed of your hour hand. So the speed of the hour hand is nothing but half degree per minute. Okay, that's what you have to get it from this part. So this two things I understood from here. Speed of the minute hand, 6 degrees per minute. It is faster, of course. And speed of the hour hand is nothing but half degree per minute. Okay, it is slower. It only moves half degree per minute. And the logic is quite simple. If I said it to you, it goes 60 degrees in 60 minutes, you would have said 1 degree per minute. But it is not going 60, it is going 30. So it is going half degree per minute. Okay, so that's what you have to understand. And if you have to just visualize this better with what we have studied in speed, how do you always write speed? In terms of meter per second, in terms of kilometer per hour, in terms of miles per hour, right? That's how you always write the speed. So how much does the vehicle goes in 1 second, 1 hour, or the 1 hour again here? Now I am asking you, how much does the hand moves in a minute, in 1 minute? Okay, and how is the hand moving? Hand is moving in a circle. Okay, so it will cover only degrees of distance. So the distance here is in terms of degree. That's what you have to understand. It's nothing but normal speed only, but the distance here is in terms of degree because the hand of the clock is traveling across the circle. So distance has to be in terms of degree. Okay, that's the first thing that you need to know with speed of the hands even before we start with this class. So after knowing the speed, let's come on to the types of problem. And the first type of problem that I get here is hands of the clock coincide. Okay, so now I'm telling you that it is 4 o'clock in the watch. So my hour hand is here at 4 and my minute hand is here at 12. Okay, so I told you it is 4 o'clock in the watch. What am I asking you right now? First thing, what is the angle between the hour hand and the minute hand right now? It is 4 o'clock. So what is this angle? This green one, that will be equal to 120 degree. Right? That is quite simple. Why? Because between 1 hour the angle is 30 degrees. So it is 4 hour. 30 into 4, 120. We know that. Now I am asking you question is, it's 4 o'clock between 4 to 5. Which means in this 1 hour between 4 to 5, at what time will the two hands of the clock will coincide? So between 4 to 5, at what time will the two hands of the clock will coincide? First of all, what is the meaning of coincide? See, this is my hour hand and this is the minute hand. They overlap. They overlap like this. Okay, this is the meaning of coincide. When will this happen? What is the time during that time when this will happen? Okay, 420, 421, 422. Let's see. Let's analyze this even better. Now I am saying that let this hour hand be stationary. Okay, if it is stationary, what is the meaning of this? It cannot move. Okay, it cannot move, so it is stationary. Now if this is stationary, what time, when will this happen now? If the hour hand is stationary, at what time will this minute hand coincide with this hour hand? If consider the hour hand is stationary. So what is the speed of my minute hand? 6 degrees per minute. So it will go 6 degree in 1 minute. Now it has to cover what? It has to cover 120 degree, right? If this minute hand covers this 120 degree, it will come and overlap over this hour hand, something like this. And I can say they can coincide. So the distance that the minute hand is supposed to cover is 120 degree. The speed that it has is nothing but it goes 6 degrees per minute. In 1 minute it goes 6 degree. So to cover a distance of 120 degree, can you tell me how much of time will be required? So time is equals to what? Time is equals to distance upon speed. Distance that the minute hand is supposed to cover is 120. Speed at which it is going is 6 degrees per minute. So what is the time that will be required? If I do 120 upon 6, the answer is nothing but 20 minutes. So in 20 minutes this minute hand will coincide with the hour hand. So it is already 4 o'clock. If you add 20 to that, at 4:20 the two hands of the clock will coincide, and that is my answer. Okay, but what is the problem here? I considered the hour hand to be stationary. That is when the answer came to be as 4:20. So when is the answer 4:20? In 20 minutes the minute hand will overlap over R hand, given the fact that R hand is stationary. But we know that R hand is not stationary. Okay, R hand is not stationary, it is also moving, and we know the speed of R hand. What is the speed of R hand? Half degrees per minute, right? We had just find this out in the previous section. So now what is happening? Again I am asking you this time only. This time only I am writing it here. Time is equals to what? Distance. Distance that minute hand is supposed to cover is 120. This is all good here till now. Okay, now I need to find it out. What is the speed at which this minute hand is traveling? It is not traveling at the speed of 6 degree per minute. That is the speed of minute hand. But what is the relative speed? I am asking you. What is the relative speed of minute hand? That is not 6 degree per minute. Why? Because when minute hand is traveling by 6 degree, the R hand is also traveling ahead by half degree. So eventually, resultant, how much did the minute hand travel? It traveled only 5.5 degrees per minute. Because if it traveled by 6 degrees in 1 minute, it went ahead by 6 degrees in 1 minute, the R hand also moved ahead by half degree. Okay, and the job of minute hand is to catch the R hand. So how much of distance did the minute hand covered in 1 minute to catch the R hand? It covered only 5.5 degrees. It covered only 5.5 degrees. Okay, that's why instead of this 6, I'll write it here as 5.5, because it is covering only this much of degree in 1 minute. Okay, when I am thinking of minute hand chasing the R hand, right? Because here the concept is just simple. Minute hand has to chase R hand and catch the R hand. Okay, such that it will overlap over that. So in that respect, the relative speed is 5.5 degrees per minute. So now if it goes 5.5 degrees in 1 minute, how much of time will be required to travel? 120. Okay, so instead of 5.5, I'll write this as 11 by 2. Okay, because I want to make calculation easier, and I'll keep this as 120. Now take this 2 to the top. So 120 into 2, this turns out to be as 240 by 11. Now just solve this. This is 11 2s are 22, 20, 11 1s are 11, 21 9 by 11. Okay, that's what I get it from here. So this is my 21 minutes. It is not 420. It is not 420. It is 4. It is 4, then 21 minutes. Okay, and 9 by 11 of the 22nd minute. So if it would have been 11 by 11, it would have been 1, right? Which means the 22nd minute. So it is 9 by 11 part of the 22nd minute, not the complete 22nd minute. So how many seconds are there in 1 minute? 60. Which means 9 by 11 of 60 seconds. I am converting this to seconds now. So 4 are 21 minute. Okay, not the complete 22nd minute. So how many seconds of the 22nd minutes? So 9 into 6 is nothing but this is 540 divided by 11. So this becomes what? 11 4s are 44, 10 100 9s are. So that's my final answer now. 4 hour 21 minutes 49 seconds is when the two hands of the clock will coincide. Okay, that's your final answer. So not 420, because the R hand is not stationary, it is also moving. Now imagine a scenario. Actually what is happening here? Okay, let's put it as a scenario here. So I got my final answer as 4 hour 21 minutes and 49 seconds when the two hands of the clock will coincide. What and how it will actually happen? So it is 4 o'clock, so my R hand is here and my minute hand is here. What will happen at 4:20? At 4:20 this minute hand would have come here and it would have been at a position of 4, but in that 20 minutes R hand would have slightly moved ahead. Okay, this is the scenario at 4:20. What will happen at in the next 1 minute 49 second? This red hand will move from 4 to ahead, and at 4 hour 21 minutes 49 second it will overlap with the R hand, and minute hand and R hand will overlap or coincide at 4 hour 21 minutes 49 second, and that is my final answer to this. Okay, so that's a simple concept. All that we did it here is time is equals to distance upon speed. What is the distance? Distance is being always traveled by whom? The minute hand. Why? Because the minute hand here is chasing your hour hand. Okay, so distance is always traveled by the minute hand, and this is the speed that you write is always the relative speed. Okay, it is always the relative speed of whom? Relative speed of minute hand. Okay, because it is chasing the hour hand. So how much degree it is traveling in 1 minute? Okay, that's the concept that we use to solve problems on coincide. Okay, now we'll see few more problems where the angle will be 90 and 180, and we'll apply the same concept. Time is equals to distance upon speed. Distance is always traveled by your minute hand because minute hand is chasing the hour hand. Now I have to see the speed of the minute hand, and the speed is always the relative speed. Okay, because it is chasing the hour hand. So how much in respect to hour hand, how much is the distance that the minute hand is covering while it is chasing the hour hand? That is the relative speed of minute hand with respect to the hour hand. Okay, so let's see few more problem and apply this concept. After coincide, we come on to a problem where hands of the clock make an angle of 90 degree. Okay, 90 degree angle is being made by them. So what is the question that is being asked now? So I'm telling you that it's 4 o'clock in the watch. So our hand is at 4 and the minute hand is here at 12. So just like the previous problem, again it is 4 o'clock here. So the angle between the two hands of the clock will be what? That will be equal to 120 degree. Okay? Quite a simple thing to understand here. Now I am asking you between 4 to 5. Okay, between 4 to 5, it is 4 o'clock. Between 4 to 5 in this 1 hour, how many times the angle between the minute hand and the hour hand will be equal to 90 degree? So in this 1 hour between 4 to 5, how many times the angle will be equal to 90 degrees? So let's start thinking, when will this happen? Now the angle is 180 when it is 4, right? Now slowly this minute hand is moving like this. It is coming here, it is coming here. At once it will reach a point where the angle between the minute hand and the hour hand will reduce to what? 90 degree. So it was 120 but it reduced to 90 now. Then what will happen? So once it happens that the angle is 90 degree, then it will come and overlap over this, coincide, right? It will come like this and it will overlap over the hour hand. Now what is the time? 4 hours 21 minutes 49 seconds, right? When will the two hands of the clock will coincide? We know that. Now it will slowly start to increase its angle, right? Because eventually it has to reach to 12. So once again it will happen that the angle between the minute hand and the hour hand after the coincide, the second time it is happening, that the angle will be equal to again 90 degree. So first it happened before the coincide here, and second time it happened after the coincide. So in 1 hour, okay, in 1 hour, that is between 4 to 5, how many times the angle is 90 degree? Twice. One before the coincide, another one after the coincide. So twice in 1 hour the angle between the two hands of the clock will be equal to 90 degree. I am asking you the time right now. So when the angle became 90 for the first time, what was the time during that time? And when the angle became 90 for the second time, what was the time during that time? Okay, so what will you use now? You will use the same formula what we have studied. Time is equals to distance upon speed. Who travels the distance always? The minute hand. In the case of coincide, what was the distance that was traveled by the minute hand? That was 120. Right? Speed was what? Speed always remains to be as now 11 by 2. Okay, no matter what we solve right now, speed will always remain to be as 11 by 2. So I will write the speed now as 11 by 2 only. Okay, but now I need to see the distance. What is the distance that is being traveled by the minute hand to make the angle of 90 degree for the first time? Okay, what is the distance that will be traveled by him? So earlier it traveled this distance, that was 120 for coincide. Now it is traveling only this much of distance, this red part. Okay, what is this distance traveled? This is nothing but 30 degree. So if it travels a distance of 30 degree, the remaining angle that will be there between the minute hand and the hour hand will be 90, and the angle 90 has happened. So how much did the minute hand travel to make the angle of 90 degree for the first time? It traveled 30 degree. So what is the time required to travel 30 degree? It travels 5.5 degree in 1 minute. So to travel 30 degree, how much of time will be required? Okay, if you travel with this speed, to travel this much of distance, how much of time will be required? And now I get to the answer. So 30 into 2, this becomes what? 60 by 11. Let's just solve this now. This is 11 5s are 55. What is remaining is 5 by 11. So what do I get here is 5 by 11, which means it was already 4 o'clock in the watch. 5 minutes to that, and 5 by 11 part of the 6th minute. So multiply this by 60. This turns out to be as 300 by 11. Let's just solve this. 11 ones are 11, 2s are 22. So what is remaining? 807. 4 hour, 5 minutes, 27 seconds is when the angle between the two hands of the clock will be 90 degree for the first time. Okay, given it was earlier 4 o'clock in the watch, between 4 to 5, first time the angle will be 90 at 4-5, and that's quite a logic as well, right? It will be something like 4-5 only when the angle between these two hands of the clock will be 90. So this solves the problem. Okay, now I'm sure you will get the second part here as well. Okay, when the angle become 90 degree between them for the second time, which is this scenario, if you can see it here, the hand is here now, this angle I'm talking about. Okay, this angle which is 90. So when will this happen? What is the time during that time? So all that you have to see here is right here. Again, time is equals to what? Distance upon speed. Speed will always be what? 11 by 2. Now all that I have to see is what is the distance that is being traveled by the minute hand to make the angle of 90 degree for the second time. So when the coincide happened, it traveled a distance of 120, right? It traveled this entire distance for the coincide. When the angle asked was 90 degree for the first time, so it traveled this much part, 30 degree, such that the angle remaining that was there was 90. But when I am asking you that the angle becomes 90 for the second time, now what is the distance that is being traveled by this minute hand? So it was here at the start, it was here. Now it has to travel this distance, imagine this entire, and it will come here. So this is the entire black distance that is being traveled by him, which is nothing but 120 plus 90. 120 plus 90. So first it will coincide, and again it will go an angle of 90 degrees. So that is nothing but 210. So 210 degrees the minute hand will have to travel to make the angle of 90 degree for the second time. It goes 5.5 degrees in 1 minute. So to travel 210 degree, how much of time will be required? That's your question. So this turns out to be now 420 upon 11. Now just solve this. 11 3s are 33. Okay, then 790, 11 8s are 88, 38 2 by 11. What is the meaning of this? It was already 4 o'clock in the watch, 38 minutes and 2 by 11 of the 39th minute. Okay, or else you can just multiply this by 60 to get to the second. So 120 by 11. Okay, 120 by 11, which is 11 10s are 110. So 10 seconds, and that's your answer. So second time when the two hands of the clock will make an angle of 90 degree between 4 to 5 is at the time 4:38, and that's looks quite a logic. Like it will be something like this. The hand will be close to 440 when the angle between the two hands of the clock will be 90 degree, and that's how it is. Okay, so all that you have to understand here is what is the distance traveled by the minute hand, because the speed always remains to be same. For coincide 120, for first 90 it traveled only 30, such that the remaining angle is 90, and for the second 90 it has to first overlap and then take more angle of 90, so it traveled 210. If it travels always with the speed of 5.5 degree, how much of time will be required to travel this much of distance? Okay, that's how you always think and reach to the right answer. So make sure you know this logic, because we'll be applying this logic in few more problems. The clock making an angle of 180 degree. Okay, now that is my question to you now. So after 90 degree we move on to 180 degree. So it's again the same scenario. It is 4 o'clock in the watch. Minute hand is at 12 and hour hand is at 4. Between 4 to 5. Okay, in this 1 hour, how many times it will happen that the angle between the two hands of the clock will be 180 degree? So 90 degree happens twice, right? How many times it will happen that the angle between the two ends of the clock will be 180 degree in this 1 hour of 4 to 5? So what will happen first? This minute hand will move here, and eventually it will come here and overlap at 4 hour 21 minutes 59 seconds, right? We know that. Then it will increase an angle. At a point it will make an angle of 90, but it will now also reach here something like this. And now you can see when they are in this straight line, the angle between the two hands of the clock will be equal to 180 degree. Okay, now it will be 180 degree. So it happens once in 1 hour that the angle between the two hands of the clock will be equal to 180 degree. Now my question to you is, okay, it happens once in 1 hour. What is the time during that time? Okay, at what time between 4 to 5 will this happen that the angle between the two hands of the clock will be equal to 180 degree? So I'll write a simple thing. Time is equals to what? Time is equals to distance upon speed. Speed always remains to be what? 11 by 2. So I will write it here. Distance. What was the distance traveled by the minute hand in case of a coincide? 120 degree, right? It has to take this entire 120 for coincide. What is the distance that it travels for making the angle of 90 degree for the first time? 30 degree. Okay, because if it travels only this much of distance, the remaining angle is 90. What is the distance traveled by it to make an angle of 90 degree for the second time? 210 degree, because first it comes here, overlap, and then again it takes an angle of 90. Okay, so this is 120 plus 90. Now you need to think, what is the distance that will be traveled by the minute hand to make an angle of 180 degree for the first time? Okay, so how will it happen now? For the only time, right? It makes the angle of 180 degree only once. So what is the distance that is being traveled? So first you have to start here. First it will travel this 120 and overlap. Additionally, over this it will make an angle of 180. So it traveled what? This angle. The minute hand traveled this much of angle. And what is this angle? This is 120 plus 180. That is nothing but 300 degree. So it will have to travel a distance of 300 degree to make an angle of 180 degree between the two hands of the clock. It travels 5.5 degrees in 1 minute. So to travel 300, how much of time will be required? Now just solve this to reach to your answer. This is nothing but 600 by 11. So I get my answer as 11 5 is 55. 5 0 11 4 is 44. 54 6 by 11, which means 4 o'clock was already in the clock, 54 minutes over that, and 6 by 11 of the 52nd minute. Multiply this by 60 to get to the second. So this becomes 60 into 6 is nothing but 360 by 11. So the answer turns out to be as 11 3 is 33, 3 0 11 2 is. Okay, so this is the answer, 32 seconds. So 4 hour 54 minutes and 32 seconds is when the two hands of the clock will make an angle of 180 degree between them. Okay, and all that you have to see here is what is actually the distance that has to be traveled by the minute hand to make the angle of 180 degree between the two hands of the clock. Okay, so the approach is simple. The only thing that is changing here is a distance. So that is what you will have to be cautious about, because the relative speed is always 11 by 2. Things to remember. Okay, so whatever we have learned till now, let's apply all of them and understand and memorize certain things, because these are the question which are direct question will be asked to us in the exam. Okay, so let's understand them even better. We have known that in 4 to 5, in that 1 hour, how many times does the two hands of the clock coincide? Once, right? We know the time as well, 4 hour 21 minutes 49 seconds. So in 1 hour, let's say between 5 to 6, 6 to 7, between any of the 1 hour, how many times does the two hands of the clock coincide? Once, we know that. Okay, once in 1 hour they will coincide. How many times will the two hands of the clock will coincide in 12 hours? 11 times. Okay, so don't think like if they coincide once in 1 hour, 12 hours 12 times. No, 12 hour 11 times. Now what is the reason for that? Between 12 to 1 they coincide once, okay, but you take it twice. So when you are saying 11 to 12 also, you actually take the coincide of 12 to 1 twice, and that's why you are getting it for 12 times, okay, but the answer here is 11 times. No need to go deep into the logic of this, just understand this. Coincide once in 1 hour, 12 hour 11 times. 24 hour double of 11, 22 times, okay, not 24 times, double of 11. So make sure you remember this basic conventions here. How many times are the two hands of the clock opposite in 1 hour? Once, we know that, and we had also found out the time for that, 4 hour 38 minutes, right? Once in 1 hour. So how many times in 12 hours? Again 11 times. They are opposite. How many times in 24 hour? 22 times. That's your answer. Coincide and opposite. Next question. How many times are the two hands of the clock are in a straight line in 1 hour? What is the meaning of straight line? This coincide, where my hour hand is like this and minute hand is like this, coincide is also a straight line. And this opposite, where hour hand is like this and minute hand is like this, something like this, this is also a straight line. Both are straight line. So opposite is a straight line as well as coincide is a straight line. Opposite happens once, coincide happens once, so straight line happens how many times? 1 plus 1, twice. Twice in 1 hour the two hands of the clock will be in straight line. Once when they coincide, once when they are opposite. So how many times in 12 hours will they be in straight line? 11 plus 11, 22. In 24 hours, how many times the two hands of the clock will be in a straight line? 44 times. And that's your answer to it. Okay, so these are the things that you have to remember, because there will be direct question that will be asked on this. How many times in 12 hours the two hands of the clock are in straight line? 22 times. Okay, these are the kind of question that you can expect directly from this table. So make sure you know this. So this is the next problem where we find the angle between the hands of the clock. So I'll give you now any time and I'll ask you at this time what is the angle between the two hands of the clock. So now the time that I give it to you is 3:15. Okay, so let's start with 3 first. At 3 the hour hand will be here at 3 and the minute hand will be here at 12. This is 3. Angle between the two hands of the clock is 90 degree. We know that. But it is not 3. I'm telling you it is 3:15 in the clock. Now what is the angle between the two hands of the clock? So that's my question to you now. So let's start with this 3:15. What will happen at 3:15? This minute hand will come here at 3. Right? And the hour hand would have slightly moved ahead. This blue hand would have slightly moved ahead in the 15 minutes. I am asking you this small angle that is being made here now. What is this small angle? That is my question to you. There are two ways to solve this. First is by using the logic. Okay, what does the logic says? See, this angle is nothing but the distance that is being traveled by this hand, blue hand. Distance traveled by the hour hand. In how many minutes? In 15 minutes. This angle is nothing but the distance traveled by the hour hand in 15 minutes. What is the speed of hour hand? Half degree per minute. Right? It goes half degree in 1 minute. So in 15 minutes, how much it will go? 15 into half, it will go 7.5 degrees per minute. Okay, it will go 7.5 degrees, sorry, not per minute, it will go 7.5 degrees, which means this small angle, which this question mark I am talking about, is nothing but 7.5 degree, because this is nothing but the angle made by the hour hand in 15 minutes, and that's your answer. Okay, but I'll give you a shortcut for this as well. This is by logic, this is by a shortcut of formula. Okay, and what is the formula states? Formula is this: 30a minus 11 by 2 into b, the modulus of that. That is my formula to find out the angle between the two hands of the clock. Okay, this is 11 by 2 into b, where a is nothing but your hour. Okay, and b is nothing but the minute that is being given to you. So hour here is given to me is 3 and minute here is given to me as 15. So just substitute a as 3 and b as 15 and you will get to your answer. So this is 30 into 3 minus 11 by 2 into B is nothing but 15, the modulus of that, which means only the positive part comes out. So this becomes 90 minus 11 into 15, 165 divided by 2 is nothing but 82.5. Okay, get the modulus, and finally I get the final answer as 7.5 degree, which is the same answer which I got it earlier. Now what will happen if they give you any time? Okay, if they give you any time, like it's 4:20 in the clock, what is the angle between the minute hand and the hour hand? So just substitute A as 4 and B as 20 and reach to your answer. So any time that they give it to you, pick up the hour from that, pick up the minute from that, substitute it in the formula, and you will get the angle between the hands of the clock. Okay, so quite a simple way to solve such kind of problems. So now let us study the problem on error clocks. Okay, now we'll see error clock. One is a gaining clock and another is a losing clock. Okay, what is the meaning of this? Let's understand. A watch gains 5 minutes in 1 hour. It was set right at 8 am. What time will it show at 8 pm on the same day? Okay, so this is an error clock. What is the error here? It's a gaining clock. How much does it gain? It gains 5 minutes in every 1 hour. So if I compare this with normal clock, okay, you will ask me a first question, why are we comparing? Because till the time you compare the normal clock with the gaining clock, you will not understand the error here. You will not understand exactly as to what is happening. So what happens in normal clock? The time goes, okay, it was set right at 8 am, so the time starts from say 8 am. At 8 am both the clocks were showing the same time. At 9 am what will happen? The normal clock will go to 9 am, then it will go to 10 am, then it will go to 11 am, then 12, up till what? Till 8 pm is being given here. So let's take it till 8 pm, it will keep on going like this. So till 8 pm, let's write it here. Okay, this is how it will keep on going like this. But as I understand this, what will happen in the faulty clock right now? So normal clock goes from 8 to 9, faulty clock will go from 8 to 9:5 and not 9. So when actually the time is 9, it is showing me 9:5. Why? Because it's an error clock. It gains 5 minutes in every 1 hour. So it gained 5 minutes. That's the error, 05. What will happen from 9 to 10? This will go from 9 to 10. This will again gain 5 more minutes. So it has to be 10:5, right? But it will be 10:10 because it gained 5 more minutes. That's how it will keep on happening. Okay, it will keep on gaining 5 minutes in every 1 hour. This will keep on happening now. Now my question to you is, what time will it show? What time the error clock will show at 8 pm on the same day? Which means if I go from 8 am to 8 pm in the normal clock where all the time is correct, which means I am moving for 12 hours, 8 am to 8 pm. What will be the time that will be shown by this gaining clock at 8 pm? Because it will keep on gaining, right? It will keep on gaining and eventually it will gain something in 12 hours. So what do we understand from this? It gains 5 minutes. It gains 5 minutes in every 1 hour. If you multiply this by 2, it gains 10 minutes in 2 hours. Okay, if you multiply this by 12, because I need to see what will it gain in 12 hours. I know it gained 10 minutes in 2 hours, right? 8 to 10. I know that. I can see it visually here. So if I keep on going like this, how much will it gain in 12 hours? So 5 into 12, 1 into 12. 5 into 12 is nothing but 60 minutes. It will gain in 1 into 12, 12 hours. So 12 hours, which means from 8 am to 8 pm, when the normal clock goes, it will go 8 am to this will become 9 pm. This will become 9 pm because after gaining, it has gained 60 minutes. In 2 hours, it gained 10 minutes. So when normal clock showed 10, this showed 10:10. But when it comes to 12 hours, it will gain what? It will gain 1 hour. So when the actual time is 8 pm, it will show 9 pm. That is the error here, 1 hour. That is the error here, 1 hour. Okay, so that's what you have to understand it here. That's what the question said. A watch gained 5 minutes in 1 hour. So I found out its error by comparing it with the normal clock. It was set right at 8 am. So at 8 am it was showing the right time, just like the normal clock. Now the error starts. So what time will it show at 8 pm on the same day? So how much it will gain in 12 hours? So 60 minutes. So 8 pm becomes 9 pm. If I tell you this is a losing clock instead of a gaining, if I tell you just like this to be a losing clock, which means what? It keeps losing 5 minutes in every 1 hour. It keeps losing 5 minutes in every 1 hour. So it will lose now 60 minutes in 12 hours. But it lost. So it will not show a time of 9 pm. It will show a time of what then? 7 pm. So if it was a losing clock, it would have lost by 1 hour. So when the normal time is 8 pm, it shows 7 pm. But if it's a gaining clock, it is gaining by 1 hour. So if the normal clock shows 8 pm, it shows 9 pm. Okay, so this is how you study, understand and analyze the concept of gaining clocks. Now after looking at the problem for gaining clock and losing clock, now let us look at the problem of losing clock showing the correct time. Okay, so it's about the correct time right now. So let's see what is the approach to solve this problem. A watch loses 5 minutes in every 1 hour. It was set right at 6 am on Monday. When will it show the correct time again? So it's a losing clock. Let's compare it first with the normal clock. So if I keep a normal clock, it was set right at 6 am Monday. So it's 6 am Monday. That is when I know that the clock is showing the right time. Just like the normal clock, this is my faulty clock, which is a losing clock. And it is also showing a time of 6 am on Monday. So because it was set at 6 am Monday. When will it show the correct time again? So when will it happen? After how many hours from now it will happen that both the clocks will show the same time again? When did it happen for the first time? On Monday 6 am. And now the fault begins. Because now is when I had adjusted the right timing. Now the fault begins, but it will automatically happen that after few hours both the clocks will show the same time again. When will this happen? So let's start analyzing this. This watch loses 5 minutes in every 1 hour. So in 1 hour it loses 5 minutes. Right? Which means in 12 hours it will lose how much? Multiplying both sides by 12. So in 12 hours it will lose what? 12 into 5, 60 minutes. It will lose 60 minutes in 12 hours. So if I multiply this by 2, if I just multiply this by 2, I want to know in 24 hours what will happen. Right? 12 into 2 in 24 hours, it will lose 60 into 2, 120 minutes. 120 minutes is nothing but what? 120 minutes is nothing but 2 hours. So it will lose 2 hours in 24 hours. What is the meaning of this? This is 6 am Monday, right? Let's go to 24 hours, 6 am Tuesday. What will happen on 6 am Tuesday? What time will this losing clock show to me? It will show me 4 am. It will show me 4 am. Why? Because it lost by 2 hours. How? Because it is losing 5 minutes in every 1 hour, such that in 24 hours it lost 2 hours. That's what is happening right now. So what will happen? Say next, just imagine 6 am, say Wednesday. It will lose 2 more hours. So from 4 it will become what? 2. It will become 2 am. It will show 2 am on Wednesday when it is actually 6 am, because it's lost by 4 hours here. Then what will happen? You will keep on going like this. Let's say 6 am Thursday. What will happen? This will lose by what? 24. Right? In 72 hours, it lost what? 6 hours. If it lost 6 hours, take out 6 from this. What is remaining is 12. So it will show 12 here now. Okay, now what will happen to the next 6, which is say Friday? Okay, you're not supposed to solve like this in the exam. Okay, this is I am telling you because of your better visualization. I can just give the answer in one line, but let us visualize this even better. What will happen on Friday? It will lose by 8 hours. If it lose by 8 hours, this will show 10. Right? Now let's take a Saturday. What will happen at Saturday? 6. It will lose by what now? We had come to how many days now? This is 4 hours. This is 6 hours. This is 8 hours. Now it will lose 10 hours. Okay, 10 hours in how many days? So in one day it loses 2 hours. Okay, in 5 days it lost 2 into 5, 10 hours. So that's what I'm saying. In 5 days, starting from Monday, today is Saturday, it lost 10 hours. So if it lost 10 hours, it is showing here now 8. When it loses 12 hours, it will show the same time again, and this is something you are supposed to remember. Okay, so it loses this. What? In one day it loses 2 hours. So in 6 days, 1 into 6 days, it will lose 2 into 6, 12 hours. If it loses 12 hours, what will happen? See, if this will show 6, this lost 12 hours, so this will also show 6 here. And they are showing the same time again. And they show the same time again. So when did it happen that they show the same time again? When the difference between their timing is equal to 12 hours. When the difference between their timing is equal to 12 hours. So all that you have to see here is this. It loses 5 minutes in 1 hour. Okay, it loses 5 minutes. I need to get the difference of 5 minutes to 12 hours. So what should I do to get the difference of 5 minutes to 12 hours? Multiplying both sides by 6 first. Okay, so 1 into 6, 6. In 6 hours, it will lose 1 hour. Okay, still I did not reach 12. Multiplying both sides by 1 into 6, is it correct? In 1 hour, it loses 5 minutes. So 12 into 5 is... oh, this is not. Let's multiply this by 12. Yes, if I multiply this by 6, it will be 30 minutes, right? Not 1 hour. But if I multiply both sides by 12 directly, what will I get? In 12 hours, it loses 1 hour. Right? I need to make this 12 to be as what now? This 1 to be as 12. I need to make this, right? Because difference between the timing has to be 12 hours. So multiplying both sides by 12. 12 into 12, 144. And 1 into 12, 12. So in 144 hours, the difference between their timing will be equal to 12 hours. Okay, and 144 hours means how many days? Okay, 24 hours per day. So just multiply this by 6, which means in 6 days. In 6 days, the difference between their timing will be equal to 12 hours. So if today is Monday, it will be what? Sunday. Okay, add 6 days to today. It will be Sunday 6 a.m. when the two clocks will show the same time again. Okay, it will be Sunday. It's 6 days. So that's how you start from here. No need to write any of this. In 1 hour, the difference is 5 minutes. I need to get the difference between them to be 12 hours for them to be showing the same time again. Multiplying both sides by 12. In 12 hours, the difference is 1 hour. Multiplying both sides by 12 again. So in 144 hours, the difference is 12 hours. 144 hours means 6 days. So at Sunday 6, they will show the same time again. Okay, don't worry about AM PM here. Consider this to be a 24-hour clock. Okay, don't worry about AM PM. You will always reach to the right answer in this case. So after one faulty clock showing the correct time, let's take now two faulty clocks. So instead of one faulty clock, you have two faulty clock, and I'm asking you when will they show the right time again. So watch gain 5 minutes in every 1 hour, gaining clock, and another watch loses 5 minutes in every 1 hour, so it's losing clock. Both the clocks were showing the right time at 3 p.m. Monday, which means if I compare them with the normal clock, which I always do, the time that was set was 3 p.m. And now we have a gaining clock, which will gain 5 minutes in every 1 hour, and then there is a losing clock. So there are two faulty clock here. I am being asked after how many hours will both the clocks show the same time again. So when are they showing the same time? When it was set at 3 p.m. All three were showing the same time. But now what will happen? This 3 goes to 4 because it's a normal clock. 4 goes to 5. That is how it will keep on happening in the normal clock. Gaining clock will not be 4. It will be 4, 5 because it gained by 5 minutes. Losing clock will not be 4. It will be 3:55 because it lost by 5 minutes, and that is what will happen. The difference between their timing, if you can see here, is nothing but 10 minutes. How do I know that? 4:05 minus 3:55. The difference is 10 minutes. Okay, what will happen in the next hour? 4 to 5. This will become what? This will not be 5:05. This will be now 5:10. This will not be 3:55. Does not become 4:55. It turns out to be as 4:50. So what is the difference between their timing here now? In 2 hours, 3 to 5. In 2 hours, the difference between their timing, as you can see here, is 20 minutes. What is being asked to me now? This will keep on happening, okay? This will keep on happening like this, where the difference will keep on increasing. So what do I understand from this? What is being asked to me? After how many hours will both clocks show the same time again? So when will it happen that after 3 p.m. Monday, which was this time, when will it happen that both this clock will show the same time again? For them to show the same time again, what is the difference in their timing? You have to get the difference between their timing to be equal to 12 hours, right? We have studied this. You have to get the difference between their timing to be equal to 12 hours. How? We saw this in the previous problem. Why do we need the difference between the timing to be 12 hours? Now, how do I get this? I understand that in 1 hour, the difference between their timing is nothing but 10 minutes. Okay, how do I know that? I go from 3 to 4. Okay, the difference between their timing is 10 minutes. If I just multiply this by 2, in 2 hours, the difference between their timing will be 20 minutes, which is actually happening. 3 to 5, the difference between their timing is 20 minutes. I need to get this difference of 10 minutes to be equal to what? 12 hours. I need to make this to be reached to 12 hours. So what will I do now? First, multiplying both sides by 6. So this becomes what? In 6 hours, the difference between their timing will be 10 into 6, which is nothing but 60 minutes, which is nothing but 1 hour. So in 6 hours, the difference between their timing is 1 hour. I need to get this 1 hour to 12 hour. Now multiplying both sides by 12. So 12 into 6, this becomes what? 72. And this is 1 into 12, right? So 12 hours. So difference between their timing is 12 hour in 72 hour. 72 hour means how many days? 24 into 3, which means in 3 days. So if they were showing the same time on Monday at 3 p.m., when will they again show the same time again? 3 days. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So Thursday at 3, they will show the same time again. So all that you have to remember for the same time, correct time, is to know the fact that get the difference between their timing to be equal to 12 hours. Earlier also we did this, if you can remember this. Okay, but we got the difference between the timing of normal clock and the faulty clock, okay, to be equal to 12 hours, and that was quite understood because we are comparing it with the normal clock. In this case, you have to get the time of them to be same. So you have to get the difference between their timing to be equal to 12 hours so that they will show the same time again. So remember this trick, and most of the problem in this type you will be able to crack.